I was standing at my twin brother's funeral when I got a text from his phone. "I'm not dead. That's not me in the casket." At first, I thought someone was playing a sick joke. Until I read the second message. "Can't say where I am. They're listening. Don't trust your wife. Or mom and dad." My blood ran cold. I looked up at my wife across the room. She was crying into a tissue. Or pretending to. And just like that, my entire world began to unravel. Chapter 1. The Casket and the Text. My name's Noah. I'm 29, and until a few days ago, I thought my brother Adam had died in a hiking accident. He was my twin, my other half. The kind of person who could finish my sentences. The one who'd always have my back. They said he slipped off a cliff during a solo hike in the Rockies. They only found part of him. His jacket, his watch, a boot, closed casket. I didn't question it, not at first. But when I stood beside that casket, numb with grief, I heard a vibration in my pocket. I pulled out my phone and saw the sender, Adam. First I felt anger. Who the hell was doing this to me? But then I opened it. "I'm not dead. That's not me in the casket." I blinked. My hands started shaking. Another message followed almost immediately. "Can't say where I am. They're listening. Don't trust your wife. Or mom and dad." It was like my heart stopped. I read it again and again. Don't trust my wife. Don't trust our parents. I glanced around. My wife, Emily, was sitting in the front row. She looked devastated. My parents were right beside her, stone-faced, holding hands. But now, I didn't know what to believe. I typed quickly, fingers trembling. "Where are you? Can't say cameras, microphones. Just know I'm alive. They buried someone else." I backed away from the casket like it had just caught fire. Chapter 2. Strangeness in the Airy didn't tell anyone about the text. That night, at the after-funeral gathering, I couldn't stop watching them, my family. Emily kept asking me if I was okay. My mother kept forcing smiles. My dad just sipped his whiskey like none of this touched him. I excused myself and went outside. I tried calling the number that had messaged me. It rang once, then a click, then silence, then a voice. Garbled Noah. Don't trust, drive, Colt Ridge. Then static. And the line went dead. Colt Ridge. What the hell was that? I rushed to my laptop. Googled it, nothing. No town, no company. Then I checked Adam's social media accounts. Nothing had been updated in weeks. But the last post, a photo of him standing near a mountain road sign. Zooming in, I saw the name barely etched on a rusty pole behind him. Colt Ridge Trailhead. It was real. The post was 2 days before his supposed accident. I clicked back through his photos, and that's when I saw something that made my stomach twist. The girl in the background of that same photo. She was watching Adam, and she was wearing military boots. Chapter 3. The Apartment. That was too clean. I told Emily I was heading out for a walk, but instead I drove straight to Adam's apartment. He lived alone. Quiet place. Barely any neighbors. But when I walked in with my spare key, something was off immediately. To clean, no dirty dishes. No clutter. His books were alphabetized. His fridge was empty. Adam wasn't tidy. He was a mess. But this place, it was sanitized. Like, someone had erased him. Even his bed looked staged. I checked the drawers. Empty. Nothing under the bed. His laptop, gone. Phone, gone. But then I remembered Adam was paranoid about backups. He once joked, "If the government ever erases me, check the air vent." I unscrewed the air vent in his closet. There it was. A burner phone, a small flash drive, and a note. "If you found this, then I'm gone, or running. Don't trust anyone, not Emily, not mom, not dad. Look on the drive. And remember, Colt Ridge wasn't an accident." My legs gave out. I sat on the floor. What had Adam gotten into? Chapter 4. Whispers from the Past. I took the drive home, locked myself in my office, and plugged it into my computer. It was encrypted, password protected. But I knew Adam. I tried HAL 9000. His favorite movie reference. It worked. Inside were several folders. Coltridge _files project _thornvid _message _fianail. My hands hovered over the last one. I clicked. Adam appeared on screen. He looked tense, tired, eyes bloodshot. "Noah, if you're watching this, I either escaped, or I didn't. Either way, I need you to know the truth. Colt Ridge isn't just a trail, it's a facility. Underground, governmental linked. I volunteered. Stupid, I know. But they offered money, scholarships, training. It sounded legit. He paused. But it wasn't. They were testing something. Psychological enhancement, mind control, behavioral manipulation. They used us as data points. Our parents knew. Emily knew. My mouth dropped open. Dad approved the papers. Mom helped with logistics. Emily, she was my handler. I only figured it out when she slipped up. I froze. Emily. They knew the experiment was going south. People started disappearing. I faked my death to get out. They think I'm gone. Stay quiet. Don't confront them until you know more. They'll lie. They'll twist you. I'm trying to get to a journalist. I left more files, buried at the trailhead. You need to find them. The screen went black. I sat in silence, heart pounding like a war drum. My parents, my wife. Had they used my brother like a lab rat? Chapter 5. A Deadly Conspiracy. That night, I confronted Emily. I didn't tell her everything, just asked casually, did Adam ever mention Colt Ridge? She blinked, shook her head. What's that? Too quick. Then I asked, what kind of program was he in again? She hesitated. It was some leadership training, right? Wrong. She'd said it was a wilderness retreat before lies. She noticed me staring. What is this about? I smiled. Nothing. Just remembering him. Later that night, I set up a fake email account and sent the drive's contents to myself, encrypted. Then I hid the burner phone and original drive at my office, because if Adam was right, they might come for me next, and if they did, I needed to be ready. The descent into truth, my heart pounded as I stared at the phone. Don't trust your wife and our parents. Was that really from Finn? Was I losing my grip on reality? I had to know the truth. Chapter 6, The Storage Locker. That night, I went back to the funeral home, pretending I'd forgotten something. My excuse was flimsy. But grief has a way of buying you sympathy. I waited until the hall was empty and opened the casket again. The body still looked like Finn. Mostly, but there was something I hadn't noticed before. A small scar above the eyebrow. Finn never had that scar. I did. My blood turned to ice. That wasn't Finn. It looked like me. A mirror image. But not my brother. Then I remembered something. A few months before his supposed death, Finn mentioned he was renting a storage locker just in case. He'd joked about putting together a just-in-case to Worldens kit. It had sounded paranoid at the time. Now I wasn't so sure. The next morning, I drove out to the edge of town to the locker facility. I still had access he'd left me as a secondary contact. Inside locker number 438 was a duffel bag, a stack of journals, a prepaid flip phone, and a photo of the two of us. Torn in half, only my side was intact. Chapter 7, The Journals. I sat in my car for hours reading the entries. They started off like normal ramblings, but then about 6 months ago, everything changed. I think I'm being followed. I saw someone watching me near the trail again. They looked like me. I'm not crazy, I swear. Emily's been acting weird. Too perfect. Too sweet. She knows things she shouldn't. When I asked her about my past, she got defensive. I think Mom and Dad are in on it too. I overheard them talking about a reset. I don't know what that means. They asked me to go on a hike. Just like that. Out of nowhere. I think they're planning something. My hands shook. What the hell was he writing about? Emily, my wife, my parents. Then the last entry dated 2 days before his death. If something happens to me, I want you to know Liam. I tried to stop it, but they're everywhere. I don't know who to trust anymore. If I die, check the cemetery. The gravesite we used to play near as kids. You'll find the rest. I drove there in the middle of the night, under the old oak tree where we used to dig for fake dinosaur bones. I found a tin box buried under a foot of dirt. Inside was a USB stick. And a letter. Chapter 8. The footage. Back home, I plugged in the USB. A video-loaded, shaky handheld footage of Finn, staring into the camera, whispering like someone was right outside his door. Double quotes Liam. If you're watching this, I need you to listen carefully. I was approached 6 months ago by a biotech research group. Mom and Dad were already involved. They're not doctors anymore, Liam. They're working with some secret agency, using twins for memory experiments. Identity mapping. They called it Project Reflection. They needed a control subject, that's you. But something went wrong. I found files. Medical records, scans. One labeled with your name. They were testing your reactions. tracking your decisions. Through me. When I said I wanted out, they panicked. They planned to erase me, replace me. He paused, tears in his eyes. Emily isn't your wife, Liam. She was assigned to you, to monitor the results. She's not who you think she is. My mouth went dry. I've gone into hiding. I don't know how long I can stay safe. But I promise you what they buried in that casket. It wasn't me, it was someone else. Someone they altered to look like me. Like you. You need to run. The video cut off. I was left staring into a black screen, and a life I no longer understood. Chapter 9, The Truth in Her Eyes. I confronted Emily the next morning. She was in the kitchen, humming like nothing had changed. Where did you meet me again? I asked. She blinked. What do you mean? Our first date. Where was it? She smiled too quickly. The little seafood place on Bay Street. Wrong. We met at a bookstore. My heart cracked. I played the footage. She didn't even flinch. You were never supposed to see this, she said, calmly, setting down the knife she was holding. Who are you? I was assigned to observe and protect you. Your responses were crucial to the project's success. I backed away. What did you do to Finn? She sighed. He got in the way. You weren't supposed to know. Not yet. I ran. Chapter 10, The Escape. I packed a single bag. Grabbed the journals. The USB. My passport. I didn't go home. I didn't call anyone. I went completely dark. From a burner phone, I texted Finn, "Where are you?" The reply came a few hours later. "Safe. Watching, you're not alone." He sent coordinates. A cabin, deep in the woods of Oregon. I drove 2 days straight. When I arrived, a man stepped out, hood pulled low, eyes tired, face familiar. Too familiar. "Finn," I whispered. He nodded. "Took you long enough." I collapsed into his arms. Chapter 11. Reunited. We talked for hours inside the cabin. Everything project reflection. The experiments. Our childhood being manipulated for data. Our parents had volunteered us at birth. Twins made perfect test subjects. Same DNA. Different paths. Controlled environments. And when Finn started resisting, they planned to replace him with a clone. Or me. It wasn't clear. Even they were losing control. They weren't just testing us, he said. They were building profiles, emotional blueprints, to replicate decision-making for AI, human conscience mapping. I didn't understand half of it, but I knew this much: our lives had never been our own. They'll come after us, I said. I know, but what do we do? Finn looked me dead in the eyes. We exposed them. Chapter 12, The Upload. Finn had backups of everything. Files, footage, documents, even a list of other twins. Victims. We uploaded it all. Encrypted, distributed, 2 journalists, whistleblowers, dark web archives. Within days, the first articles started appearing. Conspiracies. Yes, but the kind people couldn't ignore. A week later, our parents vanished. No trace. Emily disappeared too, but we stayed hidden. Together. Epilogue. The reflection. It's been 6 months. We live off-grid now. 2 ghosts in a world that nearly erased us. Sometimes I still wake up and check my phone, expecting another message, another revelation, another betrayal. But then I look across the table. Finn's there, real, alive. And I remember, the truth didn't break us, it freed us.